The problem is that Teachout just galvanized this huge number of people around an organization that doesn't want them to carry out anything that they were galvanized around. That's the problem. And so it's like building on sand. It's building nothing. It's building enthusiasm that can go nowhere because the institution doesn't want it. De Blasio, who just got schooled by Cuomo, is now turning around and making phone calls for Cuomo. And Teachout is about to be disciplined in the same way, most likely if she wants to have a career in the Democratic Party. So we have to see, look, she lost, and still people come away feeling like, wow, we accomplished something. Imagine what would happen if we lose and yet accomplish something by becoming the second or third party of New York State politics. That would be a huge thing. Actually, the record for an independent, non-cross-endorsing party in New York State of all time is 5%. That's the record. That shows you how tough it is. And I'm just proud to say we have, in 2 consecutive polls, been consistently at 7%. So already we're breaking the mold. But, and you know, whatever, we want to push northward. The higher we climb, we're not going to stop. We're not going to change what we say. We're going to keep talking about the same things. And I'm glad Primi brought up the international scene. Because even though we're not running to be like, you know, the executive of the United States of America, we have said that if we were elected to the executive of New York State, that we would divest from Israel's murderous occupation of Gaza. And we'll say that on television, too. Like, we don't care. Yes. We'll say that in the debate. Like, we want to take, and that's the way that these movements can be synergistic with this campaign. Because people who are really putting themselves on the line to fight for Palestine in the universities, on the campuses, in the communities, the people who are being surveilled, the people who are out there marching and getting a shitstorm raining down on them, will finally see somebody in the political sphere standing up and standing in solidarity with them. The effect of that, the potential, I think, effect of that shouldn't be underrated. Similarly, there's a whole thing going on that's gone on, we have to say, under the Democratic Party's watch, and that is the erection of a new Jim Crow, of mass incarceration. We got the first black president, and we've got more black people in prison or under the thumb of the criminal justice system than ever before. So we are a campaign that is speaking straight to that. We're saying not only should we legalize marijuana, but there need to be reparations for the black and brown people whose lives have been ruined behind drug possession. Because as soon as they legalize it, we know what's going to happen. A whole bunch of probably white men are going to get rich doing the same thing that they just put people in cages for decades. So we have to absolutely be strong about felon enfranchisement and talking about the people who are the most oppressed and dispossessed in our society. Look, even just the question of planetary justice, of saving the planet. We know that capitalism is totally out of control. And as a socialist, my whole socialist education and training teaches me that there's no solution for us long-term inside this economic system. That's why we have to defy the system in any way that we can. And that is urgent, not just because we think that would be a nicer way to live, but the planetary crisis, I think, is teaching us all that it's going to be the only way to live. That we are either going to have a green alternative, like a new green economy, or we're not going to have an economy at some point, that we could burn up this planet. So I think this is an urgent task for us. I hope that our campaign is synergistically feeding off of and contributing to these grassroots movements that we're building. And I hope to see you all in the streets. Thank you.